Hello everybody and welcome to It Invaded episode 3. That wasn't 3, there we go, 3 anime review. Back on another case. I feel like that's what we're going to get a lot of this series, is a lot of one episode, resolve in episode cases, which is fine. I do sort of like it. I would also sort of like them to start explaining some things better, like what the machine is, what a Sakaido is, explain how everything relates, because we're kind of being left in the dark at the moment. And that's not good. I do sort of enjoy trying to figure it out myself, but at the same time, we're lacking some pretty basic information for this world. So, would be helpful if we learnt that. But I always like these sort of detective shows where you got to figure out somehow like what it is, or not even figure it out yourself, but like watching the characters figure it out. Like obviously we don't know enough about the world to figure out how to figure it out. So that's the thing we kind of need to know. But anyway, let's crack on with the episode. Only one episode this week, which is good for me, which means I get this out quicker. And Funimation was on time as well, so always good things. Let's crack on with the episode and do this. So the episode begins with Sakaido, or not Sakaido, because Sakaido is the name of the famous detective, or the good detective inside the world. In the real world he's just a guy, and I've forgotten what his name is, but when I say Sakaido, I'm referring to him. Basically, he's going through his memories, looking at his family. They both got killed. It was pretty brutal. He's remembering everything wrong. He's like, oh look, she's remarkably clean for being dead. But then he was like, that's not how it happened. She was broken in all the wrong places and stuff. Not good. It was a dream. Then we cut immediately to a building exploding. There's like fireworks going off as well. It was kind of beautiful. Not beautiful. There was fireworks alongside the explosions, so it was like made to look like a performance, I guess, something like that. Then we go to the girl in the hospital, whose name I haven't remembered. Is there a H? Her, the one that got drilled through the head, that one. She is just still in the hospital. She talks to the guy who is called Matsuoka, the older guy, I think that's his name. Talks to him about basically a bunch of stuff. She must enter her own idwell, and he's like, you can't be doing that because you'll get mind stuck in there, which, that's not good. I'm not going to go into all the lore, but this was good. They gave you a little bit of explanation as to some stuff. Would like more of that, please. More explaining. I think we're going to get drip-fed information, I'm pretty sure how it's going to go. She also says she's angry at all serial killers, which, to be fair, that's a very normal emotion to have. They're not good people. You should be mad at them. And then the dude says, hey, you might be like the real Sakaido. Can't remember his name. But then he's like, please don't become a pilot. A pilot is a person that becomes Sakaido in the idwells that they put on the VR thing and become him. They're called pilots. But for the next one though, luckily, they got some particles, hatred particles or whatever, to make the idwell for the explosion man. I forgot what they call him. I'm gonna call him the explosion man. So yeah, just basically this first part checking in on that girl whose name I've forgotten. I'm assuming she's going to be a pretty major character at some point. I think she's going to come into contact with Sakaido, or real Sakaido. She might even dive in at one point and become a Sakaido herself. Although maybe not. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. I don't know if this is based off a manga or if it's original or what. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it so far. But anyway, I'm acting like this is the end. We haven't even got to the meat yet. Let's get to the meat right now. So Sakaido dives into the new idwell, and immediately people getting sniped, just like all over the place. Just psh, psh, psh. There's Kairu. She's there, obviously, because that's a thing. I hope we don't continuously get the whole "my name's Sakaido, I have to figure out what happened to Kairu" thing, because obviously I know that's important, but you don't need to say it every time. I feel like we've grasped the formula by now. He deduces there's only one sniper because there are times when the bullets pause and there's, a blind spots is what I'm saying. So he deduces there's only one sniper. He figures out something is wrong. The people aren't important because their faces are just shifting. So unlike the first one where there were targets that matched the real world, here it's just there are people, or that's what we think. We'll get to it later. After a little while though, he gets shot in the head, so he's dead. Oh no, he didn't figure it out. So they immediately take him out, put him back in. So he's essentially a respawn, and he's got to start from his checkpoint, which is just the start, and figure everything out again. He keeps dying, gets shot in the head a few times, and then after that there are a few suicides, people just jumping off instead of being shot. That's relevant for later. People crawling as well. There's, you know, stuff like that. He says there's something about Kairu's body that doesn't make sense, so he tries to figure it out. But then he saves a woman who is going to suicide. He's like, sorry, my body just moved on its own. You could be a hero, don't you know? And then he looks like down and he sees the guy that jumped off beforehand, so he deduces the platform is rotating. So the sniper hasn't moved, so the sniper's here, and so the platform is just going around, so he can get basically every angle at some point. Kairu tried to tell them where the sniper was when she got shot, because like her hand's pointing, but you know, things move, so it doesn't matter. And then there's one guy he's crawling on the ground, trying to get others to die to stay, so he can stay alive. Sakaido catches him. Turns out, well, what does it turn out? That's the question. But yeah, this guy, he's kind of an asshole. I wonder who he could be. The killer has been found, is all I'm going to say. Actually, I'm not, because the next segment, talk about it more. So yes, they solved it. The dude crawling on the ground matched a real life person who had plastic surgery, but they figured out who he is. As it turned out, 74 people were soldiers that got bombed in, you know, some other country, I don't know where it was. And this one guy who is the killer, he was like a photographer, and he photographed the aftermath and looked around at the aftermath of the bombing. We get more on that in a bit. They caught the guy in the real world and see them apprehend him, but they got him. Good job, Chief. And he's got photos of people on his cell wall and everything. He's kind of a creepy guy. He's opposite the real Sakaido, who we still don't know why he's in a cell. Is it because he's just gone a bit, you know, after his family died, has he gone a bit crazy, or, you know, what did he commit a crime? What is it? You know, that's the question I need to know the answer to. This guy, I didn't write his name down, the Explosion Man. He talks about how life and death don't have any meaning and everything, and Sakaido brings up the bombing, and he like enjoyed the hell, basically, is what he says. Like, you enjoyed looking around at all that carnage and everything. But yeah, basically because he was alive and they weren't, stuff like that. And then Sakaido's words got him to kill himself. They like choked himself with his jacket in the cell. I assume he dies. And Sakaido like just, does he watch, or is he just like at the corner of his eye like, that man's killing himself? Oh. Also, I didn't mention it, the dude the drill guy, he's also in a cell nearby. He says hello to Sakaido earlier on, so that's good. And then at the end, he has another dream where he tries to save Kairu, and then she like morphs into his daughter, and she basically just says, hey, if you hate your job, why weren't you there when we died? And it's like, oh, Sakaido, that feels bad, you know. So we basically deduce Sakaido was never home from work, although he says it pretty much at the beginning. He was always at work, and that somehow led to his family getting killed, probably serial killed. But yeah, not good. And that was the end of the episode. As I said, I'm liking it, but I would like things explained a bit more. I'm hopeful that by the end they will spell. I mean, no, this isn't even the mystery. This is just, I want to know the basic things, like not what the idwells were, what the machine is, why they lose, or they say why they lose their memories. You know what I mean? There seems to be some stuff they've not told us, so I'd like them to do that. Otherwise, though, I'm curious to see it continue, because as I said, I presume we're going to get each episode will be a individual case until near the end, maybe, where we'll get some longer 2 or 3 episode finale, you know, type thing, and that should be good. I am enjoying this. I do think the fact they've not told us everything is interesting and a good way to do it, because it keeps us intrigued. But it's just that we need to learn some basic world knowledge, basically. That's the thing I want to know. I want to know background. You can keep me in the dark on the actual like mystery stuff. Give me some background information though. That is ideal. I think that would be good. Anyway, I guess I'll just wrap it up here. I think it's quite short, but I've run out of things to say. Thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing and liking and commenting and all that other good stuff. Check out the main channel as well. There's content over there too. I will see you next week for another episode of this, and bye guys.